First of all, there was a clear collaboration between the Kenyan government and Nigerian government.
Hey, future people, welcome to today's program. Wherever you're watching from around the world, I must say thank you very much for paying attention on this special program. So it's no longer a news on what happens in Kenya, that the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested in Kenya airport and handed over to Nigerian government illegally without no proper procedure. Nnamdi Kanu in question is a holder of British passports and applied for Kenya visa legally. Everything was granted to him. There's no time the Kenya authority highlight Nnamdi Kanu that he's not welcome in their country. Likewise, Kenya authority has the right to refuse Nnamdi Kanu from coming into the country. The only way they can deport him back to where he came from, possibly UK. But what we find today is totally wrong. That the Kenya government, unite with Nigeria in the act of terrorism, in the act of kidnapping. As if what happened is not enough, Kenya government came out and denied by saying this very thing that you are about to hear.
One, Nnamdi Kanu. I want to address this allegation by denying that Kenya was involved in the alleged arrest in Kenya and extradition to Nigeria of Mr. Kanu. And I repeat, I want to address this allegation by denying that Kenya was involved in the alleged arrest in Kenya and extradition to Nigeria of Mr. Kanu. To answer for this allegation are fictional, imaginary, and deliberately concocted to fuel antagonistic feelings amongst certain sections of the Nigerian people against the Kenyan people.
I'm happy now that they are denying the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in their place and also handed over to Nigerian government. But I can assure you that by the time we finish with them at the international court, they will never remain the same. What's important at this stage, and I've already made known to the world, is that he was arrested at the airport on the 19th day of June 2021. And he was taken to an unknown residence. That is a fact. He wasn't taken to a custody, and they recognized the official custody of the police over there. He was taken to an unknown residence where he was subjected to inhuman treatment. Nnamdi Kanu was tortured, maltreated, and beaten, mercilessly beaten. So these are facts within our knowledge confirmed by him to us. So after spending 8 days in their custody, illegal custody, they now beckoned on the Nigerian counterpart to come for him. And by the time they came, Nnamdi Kanu was apparently unconscious at the point they came to pick him. He was unconscious. He was near lifeless at the time they were about to take him to Nigeria. So, and consequently they brought him here. So now, to tell you the level of their conspiracy and the desperation to get him jailed at all costs by enemies. They brought him here on a Sunday, and the federal government is fully aware that I'm the lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu. And there's a charge against him before the court, which has been subsisting has been going on. Because after invasion of his premises on the 14th of September 2017 by the Nigerian military and soldiers, who killed over 28 persons in his house, and by act of providence he was narrowly escaped, we filed an application before the court for an inquest into what transpired in his house on the 17th of September 2017. For court to inquire as to what happened in his house, what led to his disappearance. And we are still in this process because that is fundamental. This is a person that has expressed to the world that he's ready to come for his trial on October 14th, 2017. He wasn't planning to leave the country. He wasn't planning to run away from the trial. He was ready to come for the trial on October 14th. The matter was scheduled for commencement of trial. Then on September 17th, his house was invaded. So to tell you that the government was not ready at the time to prosecute him, because they have no evidence to establish even the charge preferred against him to even date. So they went after his life. Now it's compelling on the part of the court to inquire what happened to this person I granted bail, what led to his disappearance. Then surprisingly, on the 28th of March 2019, when the matter came up for shorties to show cause why they will not be committed for contempt, why they were unable to produce Nnamdi Kanu. That was the proceedings of that day. The court gave an order revoking his bail. Then we said no, because the court should be bound by its records. We said no, and we filed applications to get that vacated. Since 2019 to date, the matter had severally come up before the court, the same court. And the court was not inclined to hear this application to vacate the order. And the worst thing is that the federal government has not filed a response to this application before the court. They will not find a response in counter to application to get that all vacated. They were not interested. What they are interested is to how to get in Nnamdi Kanu at all means available to them.
You guys have heard the fact about Nnamdi Kanu's audio, the IPOB leader. What the barrister Ifeanyi Jumafo was saying is just the fact. There's nothing like altering things. He's just saying the fact. If you are the believer, if you're a believer of truth, if you're someone who believes in justice system, you must know that the Nigerian government have done in every corner of this case, they have done no justice. They have done very wrong. Nigerian government have not shown any dignity in this case, and it is a very disgraceful thing that, you know, such a case is something people will get up, lawyers will get up and admire the procedure of courts. They will admire the procedure of democracy. They will admire the procedures and the process of justice system in the country. But what happened in this case, they are failing more and more. As this guy explored the whole avenue that, that you have actually made inquiry and made attempt for the government to rectify their mistake, still they keep making similar mistake and again. Listen to what this Kenyan minister was saying.
We have no intention of interfering with internal affairs of Nigeria, which includes arresting of armed citizens on matters of crime. Kenya is committed to sustain the historical bond of friendship between our two governments and the peoples of our two countries.
For Kenya that you've been talking about, the High Commissioner of Kenya to Nigeria insists that in fact it's derogatory, it's insulting, it's malicious, and it's defamatory of the person of the President of Kenya for anybody to suggest that Kenya was involved in any other way.
And let me just say for the benefit of doubt, for the power to know. When Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, was abducted in Kenya by the Kenya police force at airport, he was primarily accused by the people that arrested him of committing treason offense in their country. And at the point in time, they were apparently or presupposedly acting under the impression that they don't know the person they're dealing with. So now the game changed when they took him to a place other than the police station or any of the approved official detention facility of the Kenyan government. It took India's time at treating him. So they were discussing with him, interrogating him on the basis that he has committed offense against the Kenyan government. So I am telling you what I have with me, the impeccable facts I have with me. And I have every evidence to establish that in the course of time. Because when we get to that international court, the Kenyan government will come to defend themselves. We'll have facts, information, documents to show what happened to him and where it happened. So, and when they became convinced after 8 days of maltreating him, torturing him, subjecting him to all forms of inhuman treatment, that Nnamdi Kanu never committed any offense unto law in Kenya, a British citizen for that matter. Then they ran back on because it's a collaborative something. It's like there was a conspiracy in the first place. So because they know probably he has meetings, we attended a meeting in Kenya. So they have that intel. So they ran back on the Nigerian government to come and pick him without due process of law being adhered to. So if he has committed any offense unto law over there, the member is a British citizen. They were subjected to extradition proceedings. So this took place in Kenya. And we have the facts, we have documents to show to the international community and in the fullness of time.
So like I'm saying before, it's very hard to find out why Kenya get involved in an internal affair. Nnamdi Kanu have not done any wrong to Kenyan people, has not done any wrong to Kenya president. Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime in Kenya. Nnamdi Kanu have not done wrong that the world have declared Nnamdi Kanu wanted. Kenya president and Kenya country mingling in onto this case is something that appalling. I think it's a wrong decision and it's a wrong advice. It's also a wrong step to something that does not in any way connected to you. If Kenya feel that they wanted to intercede or to intervene in such a case, all they have to do is to get the African Union involved and bring the people to table and ask them either to go for referendum or to seek more international help in the best way to sort out this problem. But Nnamdi Kanu arrived in Kenya. At Kenya airport, Kenya Special Force, without any cause, arrested him, detained him for 10 days, arrested him, detained him for 8 days, tortured, without food, without access to his medication. At the end of the day, after 8 days, they hand him over to Nigeria.
So now, he was brought into this country on Sunday, after being detained, maltreated, subjected to all forms of inhuman treatment, and inflicted with severe injuries on account of handcuffs that lasted on his hands for over 4 hours till before he was brought to court. And you can see him on handcuffs in court on that day. Those injuries are still there. And a number of medical issues he's having today on account of what was the kind of treatment that was meted out to him. So they took him to court on a Tuesday. Labaran, who is the counsel that was in court on that day representing federal government, is fully aware that the Sifanye Ejiofor is the lead counsel in this matter.
Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. Nnamdi Kanu did not came to Kenya with Nnamdi Kanu did not came to Kenya with Nigerian passport. Nnamdi Kanu did not came to Kenya with Nigerian visa in his British passport. Nnamdi Kanu went on legal process to apply for Kenya visa, and he was approved, given to him. He took a flight down to Kenya. Kenya have every right to, let's be frank, Kenya have every right to refuse Nnamdi Kanu visa. Meanwhile, also, if Kenya feel that the ambassador in UK, made a mistake by issuing Nnamdi Kanu visa, they also have every right to refuse him entry into Kenya. The only they can do, if they find his, unlawful, he's not welcome, maybe because of an activist or something like that. Australia can do that. If they find he's not welcome, they can put him to the next flight and take him back to where he came from. If Nigeria feel they want to extradite Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria knows the dual process. Nigeria is colonized by UK. They knows what it takes to go there and go to UK court and apply for Nnamdi extradition and bring him back if they want, if UK grant them that extradition. But Kenya flawed the law. There's no any legal battle here. You took somebody from your sovereignty and hand your sovereignty to a Nigerian. Tomorrow, Kenya will tell me or tell anybody, a sensible human being, that we are Soviet nation. But what transpired here tell me that Kenya, one, lacks sovereignty. Sovereignty, when I mean, is that somebody, a country that can stand on its own, make a decision on his own, and cater for his own people. A country that your people can stand and say, this is my country. But what I find here today is that a country ruled by idiots. I must say that Kenya, I must say that it's very hard for me to abuse any people, but I must say that Kenya, what transpired tell me that Kenyans are idiots. When I say idiot as animal that doesn't think proper. They think out of, this universe, in a foolish way. Because as a huge country like that, there's supposed to be an legal process if you decide to play the role.
Release him now! 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 Free him now! Free him now! Free him now!
Guys, I know I have said this, it's good that we Africans begin to reason properly, If you're a lover of truth, you're a lover of liberty. It's good that when things like this arise, we seek legal means or legal advice. Being a president, I'm not a president, I'm not somebody in authority, but with little knowledge, I know that it's good when things like this arise, you seek a legal advice before stepping into it. Kenya, through their stupidity, have created unwarranted enmity between Kenya and people of Biafra. And I must tell you that if you count 70% of people from that set of African country called Nigeria or Biafra or Juduwa, most of them they are from their Biafra area. You have created a big enmity, and such enmity, I don't know how it will be. Also, Kenya government unwarranted have incur maybe expensive to his country, because at the end of the day, they must be praying that Nnamdi Kanu, will not be killed or maybe suffer from his head and died, because the family is going to hold you guys responsible. You have to pay for that. It's never acceptable in any way. Nnamdi Kanu is not wanted in your country, does not commit any crime in your country. You just caught him because he traveled to visit your country, maybe to have a conference in your country or whatever it is. You killed him, you sell him. The family may not know where it is up to now anyway. You may tell them there is Nigeria, what brought Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. I'm saying about Nigerian government too, Nigeria was once a respected country, intellectual wise, business wise, a lot of things are coming up in Nigeria. But the way the government is managing Nigeria have sent that country to drainage. The country is declining daily. Nobody is proud to say, I'm a Nigerian now. Go around, nobody is proud to say, I'm a Nigerian. The Nigerian government have turned violent. Those that rise that I want Biafra, I want to do what I want, that is seen as an enemy of the state, is seen as an enemy of the country, is killed. The government have never stayed for a while and asked, why are we going through this way? How many will you kill? You arrested Nnamdi Kanu, who is one. Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB members are more than 1 million plus. So you want to tell me among those million, there is no hardcore like Nnamdi Kanu? Somebody who will be in UK and ask somebody to go in Nigeria and fight, and they will do that. You told me those people that have the God to fight will not be the same way Nnamdi Kanu wants to be. That's a joke. But to be honest with you, I say Nigerian government always see that the killing of activists will end the matter. No. Remember, during the Biafran war, about 3.5 million Biafrans died. But still, what happened? Biafra still in existence. I wasn't born then, but today I can tell you more about Biafra. Nigeria, you wipe out the history of Biafra in your books, but today we can't tell you about Biafra.